Former most dangerous and notorious Italian gang leader, Vince Focarelli, who has survived 6 attempts on his life, including one in which his son was killed, has changed his life, changed his name to Abdul Salam, embraced Islam, and became a Muslim. Vince Focarelli, who has opened a restaurant in Carrington Street, has revealed how he has got his life back on track. He is now feeding the homeless and donating to the needy. Abdel Salam was the reason that too many people convert to Islam, and he is the reason that his Muslim friends became more devout.
So has his Islamic faith. On Tuesday nights he feeds the homeless from the rear of the cafe that serves up all types of cuisine, from traditional Arabic to Italian and vegan.
We cook pasta, we make soup, we give bottled water, blankets, socks, things like that. We make a package. We probably can't cater for the 6,000 homeless that there is in South Australia, Adelaide, but we do the best we can every week to provide a service for them.
He also uses his notorious past to help guide troubled youth here and interstate with a simple message.
It's an evil way to live, and with evil comes evil, you know. And with evil and stuff like that, Frank, a lot of people suffer, not just yourself. It's like a domino effect, you know. You have your wife, your kids, your mother, your father, you know, your friends. It's not just you, you know, and that's where the selfishness comes in.
And he counsels those behind bars who, like him, took the wrong road, like Dan.
There's a mate of mine, I'm very proud of him. His name is Dan. He took the name of Yusuf. I want to send Ramadan Karim to him and let him know that all the brothers out here, I've been hearing about him. They're very proud of him for his change.
What advice would you have for any young person out there today that may be taking the wrong fork in the road?
It's not worth it. There's no light at the end of the tunnel, Frank. There's no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's just, in my eyes, is a myth.
The days of guns, fast bikes, flashy clothes that marked the bloody life of gangster and bikie Vince Focarelli are, according to him, gone. Yes, even his name. What is it today?
Imran Abdul Salam, which Abdul Salam means the slave servant of peace of Allah. La ilaha illallah.
Although raised a Catholic in a traditional Italian migrant family, he's been a Muslim for 15 years, but admits losing his way from the righteous path he now strictly follows.
I chose that life the way it was meant to be lived, you know. I didn't make any excuses. I did what I did.
He's out of the back seat and then fired a number of shots into the car.
Giovanni in the passenger seat was killed. It was the 6th attempt on Vincenzo's
Now
life.
for the first time, Vince Focarelli opens up on his notorious criminal history.
Look, Frank, the truth is that when you live that life and you enjoy living that life, the people around you that you're referring to and explaining, it didn't seem that way then. It felt normal. That, you know, that way of life was normality.
Surviving 6 attempts to kill him. You've been a very lucky man.
I've been a blessed man. Not a lucky man, a blessed man.
Both Focarellis were hit several times.
The shooting murder of his stepson Johnny. Did you feel that you wanted to take some kind of revenge, retribution?
Absolutely.
For those?
Of course, Frank. But I think that's for everyone would have that first instinct, you know, comes to things like that. Especially in that life, you're required. You know, it's like a requirement of it.
And his redemption. You could never go back to that.
Never, Frank.
And says a combination of his Italian background and the Hollywood gangster mythology saw him take the wrong road.
You know, I'm not embarrassed to admit it. It did, yeah. It influenced me in a big way.
It led him to motorcycle gangs like the Hells Angels, the Comancheros, and then his own New Boys gang, setting up office in a tattoo parlour where violent rivalries often spilled into Hindley Street.
Do you think at the time perhaps it was a rather selfish road to lead?
Without a doubt. Anyone that lives that life, you know, I mean, it's up to between them and Allah to change, but that's not a life to live. You wouldn't, you know, I was educating and pretty much promoting that sort of lifestyle, recruiting, and you know, and I feel very silly, very ashamed. I have, to a degree, I don't think much of it because that was my journey.
He won't talk about the gangs in any detail, nor why they wanted him dead. 2 Hells Angels associates blew themselves up trying to deliver a bomb to his home.
Were you living in fear yourself after all that?
Look, Frank, like I said, the best way I can answer that fear factor wasn't as great as it should have been, because then, you know, maybe the decisions would have been made a lot simpler. I was concerned about my family, and I had no time to be concerned about myself. I chose that life, like I said, and whatever came at me, I took it on the chin for myself, but the concern was for the family.
But his family did become targets.
Police say the video leaves no doubt that Focarelli knows who killed his son.
He is not cooperating whatsoever.
While sitting in a car, Vince and his stepson Johnny were hit by a hail of bullets.
Very sad, and very concerning that he wouldn't die, that I'll make it to the hospital.
Were you telling him that while you were in the car? Was he conscious or?
I was telling myself that it was okay, that he's just unconscious and everything will be okay. And I was talking to him, obviously, and I didn't want to believe that that was it.
Johnny was dead by the time the ambulance reached them. Vince was badly wounded.
Was that the sort of turning point in your life, you think?
No.
It wasn't?
I have to answer you honestly, Frank. I was very angry and, you know, and frustrated at the situation.
Did you have feelings of revenge?
Yes, absolutely.
On his release from hospital, Vince was arrested. He wound up in solitary confinement in Yatla's G Division. It was to be his road to Damascus moment.
I started reading the Quran, and a lot of things spoke to me in regards to my life. You know, you can't delay it or you can't prolong death, but everything is written. Allah has written it. When I read this, I remember getting very emotional, Frank, and realizing then and then that no matter what, even whether I was a gangster or not gangster, you know, my son had to die that day.
And the man that shot and killed Johnny, you have a sense of forgiveness for?
Absolutely, Frank. I believe strongly in this religion, and it's because of this religion that I am able to forgive the man that has shot my son. It hasn't been an easy road for that, I can tell you, but I'm there.
Do you walk down the street having to look over your shoulder?
No, not at all, Frank. If anyone wants to harm me or anything like that, I mean, at the end of the day, that's their choice. I'm good. I'm free from everything. I'm enjoying my life. I don't feel scared, and that's not being arrogant. I'm strong with my faith, and I fear Allah.
The ongoing legacy of Vince Focarelli's story shows the power of Islam that managed to change him from being a gang leader to an excellent example of a truthful, generous, and an honest man. May God protect him, guide him, and strengthen his faith.
Allah is more exalted than heaven and earth. His pleasure more important than the greatest of the war. Allah is greater than any praise we make of him. So in word and deed and prayer we say, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Allah, Allahu